Are these next 10 minutes worth potentially the best year of your life? Are you ready to finally follow through on your New Year's goals? By the end of this video, not only will you have a written list of goals down, but you're also going to have the exact tools that you need to stay consistent with those goals. Before we dive into it today, if you are looking for more ways to simplify your health and make this next year one of the best years yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you like this video, and make sure you tap that bell icon to be notified when we release new videos. Now, fair warning, this video is not just gonna be about learning. I'm expecting you to take action and implement. So if you are watching, if you are planning to fully commit and play full out for the next 8 to 10 minutes, just get out a piece of paper, get a pen out, and get ready to get to work. Too often we get stuck in this cycle of setting big goals, getting crazy excited, and then potentially following through for a few weeks or maybe a few months, and then going back into the norm. And so it's up to us to break that cycle, to create a new system and a new routine and a new way of thinking that allows us to actually achieve the goals that we set. And that's exactly what we're gonna learn in this video. So what we're gonna cover today is a very simple sequence of steps. We're gonna have 3 steps that are more questions, things to get you thinking about where you want your goals to go this year. And then we're gonna have 4 steps to actually improve the chances of you following through and staying consistent. Now, this information has changed countless of people's lives. It's been published in books. It's been spoken about by some of the most successful people in the world. So I guarantee if you implement what you learned today, you will be successful with your goals. So the first question is very simple. What do you want to change in your life? Now, this could be your body. This could be how you feel about yourself. This could be a relationship. This could be your career or a business that you own. But ask yourself, what is it that you want to change this year? When you answer this, you can move into question 2, which is what do you need to commit to, or what can you commit to that is going to allow you to achieve this? So I'm going to go with the example of wanting to change your body. Let's just say you want to lose weight. For question number 2, for what I could change or what I could commit to, I may say something like I am supposed to move more. I am supposed to sleep better. I am supposed to eat smarter. Something along the lines of getting the wheel spinning of what it's going to take to achieve this goal. And then question number 3 is going to be, now that you have what you can change and what you can commit to, what is it that you can eliminate from your life, or that you should eliminate from your life in order to achieve this? So if I was talking about changing my body, this could be late night eating. This could be going crazy on the weekends. This could even be something as simple as sleeping in on the weekends or sleeping in during the week and missing out the opportunity to get a workout in the morning. But just ask yourself, odds are if there's something that you're committing to, there's also likely something that you can eliminate in order to achieve what you want to commit to. So again, those 3 questions are, what do I want to change in my life? What can I commit to make this change? And what must I eliminate to make this change? So once you have these 3 questions, you're basically dialed in on what you need to create the system in order to achieve this goal. And this is exactly what we're going to go through with the 4 steps to making this change successfully. Now, everything that we're about to talk about can be summed up with one simple word: incremental. The biggest mistakes people make when it comes to approaching a new goal is trying to do everything at once. Changing the diet, the exercise routine, the sleeping habits all at once to basically the lifestyle of a completely different person. And so with incremental changes, we want to make very small shifts that don't feel like it's this massive leap or this massive mountain that we're looking to climb. And so let's dive into these 4 steps. So step number 1, and many of you may have heard this, is setting SMART goals. Now, if you know this, I want to encourage you, are you actually implementing this? So SMART goals stand for goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. And so once you figured out what you need to do to get to that ideal outcome, we want to set process-based SMART goals, meaning we want to set goals that are more about the process than the actual outcome. So instead of lose 50 pounds, which is more of an outcome-based goal, we would set something like go to the gym 4 times a week, which is more of a process-based goal. And so right now is your chance to set, okay, what is the goal that you want to commit to in order to achieve this change? And then just go through each letter, right? Is this goal specific? Do I know exactly what this goal is? Is this goal measurable? Is there a number behind it? Is it something that I will be able to tell if I can achieve it? Is this goal achievable? Maybe it's way far, you're thinking way too big and you need to dial it back. And basically go through each individual letter in order to make that goal a reality. Once you have that goal, we move into step 2. Now, likely many of you set a goal that is very, very large. Going from not exercising at all to exercising 4 times a week, going from eating whatever you want on the weekends to just eating salads and chicken and rice and broccoli. And so rather than take these massive steps, step 2 is all going to be about breaking this down into mini steps. Now, if you are someone who is always setting goals and is never following through with them, the best advice I can give you is to break this single goal down into 12 individual steps. And each individual step is one that you're gonna do the following month. So if my first goal is going to be working out for 4 hours a week for an hour and a half each day, and I'm coming from not working out at all, my first step of this process-based goal would be to work out 3 times a week for 20 minutes. Now, once I've completed that and once I've gone through the month, then I can up it a little more. Maybe it goes to 4 times a week for 20 minutes. Maybe it goes to 3 times a week for 30 minutes. But basically breaking apart this one goal into small, tiny, little achievable goals. And I think it's also important to note you don't need the full 12 steps of goals. Maybe you only think ahead a month or 2 months or 3 months. But the point here is breaking this big goal down into tiny bite-sized pieces that isn't gonna be this massive transformation for you. That isn't gonna be a completely new lifestyle, because the reality is most of us don't adjust to completely new changes very quickly. And that's gonna lead us into step 3, which is to focus on your identity. Now, this is something I like to call the circle of transformation. Now, the outer layer of the circle of transformation is all about focusing on the outcome. So this is the end goal that you want to achieve. So if you were looking to lose weight, this would be losing, let's say, 50 pounds. The problem with this is that you're putting all of your energy and focus onto that end result, which is not allowing you to actually invest yourself in the process. And when you don't get that result immediately, you get discouraged, you get frustrated with yourself, and you fall back into that old routine. And so the second layer of the circle is all about the process. Now, this is a step up. This is investing your focus into the actual process that you have to go through. I have to work out, I have to eat healthy, I have to sleep better. And this is better than focusing on the outcome, but it's still not the best. Because the reality is that if you're just focusing on the process, it's not helping you really become that type of person. It's still something you feel like you have to do. And that's where we get to the inside of the circle, which is all about identity. We want to start crafting something where it's in our identity that this is something that we do and that this is who we are. And all of a sudden this shifts from something that is something we have to do to something that is just part of us. And so when you start pursuing these goals and you inevitably find yourself thinking about wanting to get to that outcome, or thinking about investing all of your energy and kind of dragging your heels of going through the motions, start shifting that line of thinking into thinking about who you're becoming and being the type of person that does the things that you're doing. And I will say this is only going to come from taking small steps daily and acknowledging those steps, and it's not something that's going to happen in a month, but it is one of the biggest transformations you can make in order to have lifelong results. And then finally we get into step 4, which is all about friction and greasing. Now, friction is basically making all of the things we don't want to do that much harder to do, and making all of the things we do want to do that much easier to do. So let's take losing weight, for example. Let's say part of my goals is wanting to go to the gym a couple days a week and not wanting to late night snack. Now, if I were to grease the goal of wanting to work out more, I would think about what could I do to make the process of working out easier. I could get an accountability buddy who could check in with me or even work out with me each day. I could track myself on an app and have someone watch that app. I could make a bet with a buddy saying every time I didn't work out when I was supposed to, I would pay him $50. But what is it that you can do to make it more enticing for you to actually follow through on the things that you're committing to? And then on the other end, when we're talking about friction, so if I don't want to snack late at night, what can I do to make it more difficult for me to snack late at night? So the first thing that's going to come into mind is just getting rid of all foods that I normally snack on. Other things could be having the food in the house, but having them in a location that takes a lot of effort to get to, whether it's the top shelf of the cupboard or it's the very back of the refrigerator, but something that you have to put a little more work into getting, so it's not just a simple grab away. But the question is, what can you do in order to make this more difficult to actually do? And I promise you, if you take the time to answer these 2 questions and think about what you can grease and what you can create friction around, this is going to be the biggest game changer to make sure that you follow through with these goals. So just to break that down one more time for you, the first part is going to be asking yourself 3 questions. What do I want to change in my life? What can I commit to in order to create that change? And what can I eliminate in order to create that change? And then the second part is 4 simple steps. Number 1, creating SMART goals. Number 2, breaking those SMART goals into tiny bite-sized pieces. Number 3, focusing more on the identity rather than the outcome or the process. And finally, finding the areas in your life where you can create friction and greasing. So with that being said, I gotta ask you, what is your number 1 goal for this new year? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you got something out of this video and you're looking to see more, make sure you like this video, make sure you click the subscribe button, you hit that little bell, because we got a lot more more coming, and we're entering this 2021 strong. But I appreciate you guys a ton. Make sure if you got something out of this video, you can actually check out the other videos to the left of me. But besides that, you are awesome. I appreciate you a ton. Remember, eat smart, sleep deep, move more, and be grateful for this moment. Let's make 2021 the best year yet.